The single most important way for you to improve your life is through your continuing your education. It is the factor that helps set you on a course for success, for greater prosperity, for a brighter future. They understand that it's a figurative key to the future that goes into that door and it opens it up. And there are so many people in this audience today that could share that story about success. Anna, or you, and as our newly appointed district attorney, and you're going to get to hear two very incredibly capable individuals here in a moment. But let me just share with you a couple of points that I think help make the argument, if you will. And the United States, in our big old country out there, the average income for a person with a high school diploma is about $31,000 a year. That's the average salary that a person would make with just a high school diploma. With a bachelor's degree, that number goes up to about $56,000 a year. So, do the math there. That is a huge gap, a huge bump up, if you will, in your salary. And I might add, there's no limit to that second number, and there's no limit to where you can go. Your teachers and those administrators here, they know that even the hardest working student needs a little push in the right direction from time to time, as I'm sharing with you. And here in this, one of the things I love about Texas, if a boy who grew up on a dryland cotton farm, who grew up in a house that didn't have indoor plumbing, I'm thinking that might be a little bit odd nowadays. But in a very small little school, I had 13 in my graduating class, and I did graduate in the top 10 in my senior class. So, Lloyd, yes, sir. I guess I shouldn't have told you about that 13 thing first, but the fact is, in Texas, it really doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter the size of your class. It doesn't matter how you spell your last name. The only thing that really matters in this state is that you have the opportunity to have a better life for yourself. And what does matter is how much you want that better life. That's what really matters. How hard you're willing to work to attain that success. And it doesn't matter if nobody in my family had gone on to a college, and that doesn't matter in your family today. That's not what is the deciding factor for you. And I know that there's a lot of young people who's in their family, no one has gone on past high school, and that may be the case in your family, but the challenge for you today is to start a new family tradition. Become an inspiration for your younger brother or sister, your cousin, someone who's watching you, someone who admires you. And when you take that next step, they're going to even admire you more. Be the one who takes the risk, who goes that extra mile, who opens their eyes, young people who are watching you, to this brighter future, simply by showing them that it can be done. Now, you need to know that Texas has a very vested interest in your success. We want you to be part of that next generation of skilled workforce, of next generation of innovators and doctors and what have you that are going to go make a difference all across not just this state, but the world. We have a vested interest in you. It's what you call a win-win situation. When you go to college, when you work hard, when you make those grades, you move on to that fulfilling and prosperous career, Texas gets to keep on boasting about that this is the greatest place in the world to live. It's the greatest place to have a country. CEO Magazine keeps writing those articles that this is the best state in America of which to own a business, to raise a family. You and I both know that technology is getting more sophisticated. As you can hear right there, he did that right on cue, didn't he? It truly is. But whether it's I can't wait to get the second generation of iPad, and they make me take my BlackBerry away so that it won't go off up here on the stage. But the technology and how it's changing the world that we live in today, it's so ingrained in our economy. You think about Michael Dell and all of the technologies. As a matter of fact, I can't tell you what he showed me the other day, but he's got some new technology that's fixing to come out that's just, it is so cool, the things that are being innovated and that we're seeing today, and it's creating jobs and making us more efficient. And so it's you and your peers, it's your classmates that are going to compete in this workforce of the future. When I graduated from Paint Creek Rural High School back in 1968, do the math on that, I'm 60. My competition was those other 12 kids in my graduating class, and maybe some students over in Haskell or Stanford that were 15, 16 miles away. That was basically my competition. The day that you graduate from Moody High School, your competition is going to be graduating that same day from Istanbul, halfway around the world in Turkey, from London, England, from Tokyo, from Washington, D.C., from Montreal, Canada. The competition is worldwide that you're going to be competing against. You need to have the skills to succeed. You need to be able to compete in that global marketplace. From the fall of 2008 to the fall of 2009. And Chewy, I want to tell, he and Todd were so much a part of this because they've been members of the legislature for some extended periods of time. And their seniority and their expertise, and they've really been engaged in the process of making our education more accessible. In higher education, in that 1 year period of time that I just laid out, we had 100,000 more Texans that went to institutions of higher learning in the state. 100,000 more young Texans that had their life changed forever. And again, I want to say thank you to both of these members of the legislature and their colleagues for making that happen. And I suspect that trend's going to continue on. I'm convinced of it. But I'm more convinced that you're going to be a part of that. That you're going to be a part of even more young Texans going into those institutions of higher learning. Now, we're not going to promise you it's going to be easy. Because you think about it, nothing worthwhile in life really is. If somebody comes and tells you, here's the deal, it's going to be really easy, you might want to be suspect of that. Because the real world that we live in today, to make that progress and to be successful, it's generally not easy. College is supposed to be challenging. That's okay. Anything worth having is worth working for. I'm betting the Trojan baseball team is out there running extra laps and taking extra batting practice to be the best baseball team in the state of Texas. They have to work hard. And the same's true on the academic side. Anything worth having is worth working for. And I happen to think that your future is definitely worth that. It's worth working hard for. We just want to kind of help you get your foot in the door, or your boot. whichever one. So anyway, today's event is really set up for you to just know what resources are available. I hope all of you find something out that you didn't know. Something like that Chewy and Todd helped allocate $1.1 billion in financial aid during the last legislative session to keep students like yourself having the opportunity to move forward into the future.